Hi everyone. This video offers a brief introduction to the relational facilitation process. The information in this video is the same as what you will find in the Relational Facilitation Guidebook, but presented in a visual and audio format. This video is designed to accompany the guidebook, and I encourage you to pause it at any point to visit the corresponding section in the guidebook and explore the additional resources available there through embedded links. Also, if you haven't already, I urge you to watch our previous video on relational coordination to gain a better understanding of the theoretical foundation for relational facilitation and what I will discuss in this video. I start with a little background. Evidence-based practices, or EBPs, are essential to establishing effective treatment and care practices in healthcare. However, it can take a long time to translate a new EBP into the real world. This delay has been attributed to a limited awareness of a practice and how it could improve patient care, absence of leadership support for new practices, or weak relationships and communication between a team that wants to innovate but isn't sure how to take the first step. Implementation science is the study of taking a new practice from the research stage to being used in regular healthcare. This field has developed proven strategies to help teams innovate and rapidly translate new EBPs into practice. One of these proven implementation strategies is facilitation, which supports groups to work through the steps necessary to move a new EBP into practice. Group facilitators are generally experts in the process of helping groups make decisions and identify and solve problems. Facilitators may be internal or external to the organization, but the best facilitators focus not only on the steps to move an EBP into practice, but also the relationships and the communication strategies that support teams working together. In reality, the relational aspects of facilitation are often overshadowed by teams focused on getting the work done. And so to help keep the relational aspects top of mind, we have combined the practice of facilitation with the theory of relational coordination, and we call this relational facilitation. Relational facilitation focuses on how relationships and communication between roles influence teamwork, productivity, and outcomes. We view relational facilitation as the special sauce that can help teams implement evidence-based practices and innovations across clinical settings. Relational facilitation is designed as a 4-step process. Each step should be scheduled as a 30 to 40-minute meeting, and this depends on the size of your team. For example, if you have a standing case conference with everyone involved in a hospital-to-home transition, ask to have 30 minutes over a couple of weeks to incorporate relational facilitation into your team. The first step is to work with your team to identify who they need to communicate with and relate to around a particular task or goal. Relational coordination refers to this as a work process. In this video, we will talk about a team that supports veterans when they are being discharged home from the hospital with home health care services. Think of this relational mapping activity like a lean process map. In process mapping, you identify every step in a process. In relational mapping, you identify every role that participates in a process. To conduct a relational mapping activity, you should have pens and paper, and you should bring them to the meeting. You should gather your team together and ask them to list out all of the roles that depend on each other to accomplish your work process. Each role you place in an individual bubble and a circle around the work process. Ask the team to think about the roles they talk to every day, once a week, and even rarely, and then end with a question about who is missing. Did you forget about patients, caregivers, administration, support staff? Post this map on the unit until you can have another meeting and move on to step 2. The second step of relational facilitation is to complete a roles and responsibilities activity. The goal of this step is to clarify the expectations and responsibilities of each role from the relational map and illustrate how each role contributes to the work process. To start, ask everyone to work on their own role and specify their responsibilities and expectations around the work process. For example, in our case study, a discharge planner may talk to healthcare teams about discharge plans or assist with coordination of out-of-hospital needs. Then, you ask someone to type out all the individual responses into a single table and you organize it by the role, as shown here. Share this table with the group and discuss any changes or updates that need to be made to the table. You should prompt the group to think about what responsibilities might be missing from this work process and who those responsibilities belong to. Are there any roles or expectations that seem mismatched? Are there expectations that should be part of everyone's role? This roles and responsibilities table is a helpful tool for people to see who does what and how. You can share this table with new staff, post it on the unit, and update it as new team members leave and join. The table is also a tool to recognize when people meet or exceed expectations, or to hold people accountable if they do not. This third step is to take the relational map developed in step 1 and informed by the roles and responsibilities table of step 2 to identify the strengths or areas of improvement within and between roles. At this session, gather everyone around the relational map from step 1. Review the relational coordination questions, which are shown in the following slide, and you also will find in the Relational Facilitation Guidebook. Ask each of them to draw a colored line between the roles that they interact with. Orange lines indicate a weak relationship in communication, blue lines indicate moderate, and green is strong. During the rating exercise, share these questions with the group to guide their assessment of relationships and communication. These questions are from the Relational Coordination Survey and cover the 7 domains of relational coordination theory. They're frequent communication, timely communication, accurate communication, as well as problem-solving communication, shared goals, shared knowledge, and mutual respect. Once everyone has rated the state of relationships and communication between roles, review the map as a group and look for trends. You can ask the following questions. What is going well between roles, and what can we learn from these groups? Are there any roles or relationships that would benefit from an intervention? Finally, schedule another meeting to talk about next steps and if interventions would be helpful. The fourth step of relational facilitation is to determine if interventions are needed to improve relationships and communication for the entire team, or just between certain roles, for example, nurses and discharge planners. If perhaps no interventions are needed, your team could be functioning incredibly well. Then take the time to celebrate and revisit the map when you have new people join the team or there are new processes adopted. If your team decides interventions will be beneficial, there are many relational coordination guided interventions to choose from. For relationship interventions, you may consider methods to enhance shared goals by providing protected time for improvement teams to meet and plan. For shared knowledge type goals, you can ask staff to shadow a colleague to increase understanding of what they do, when, and why. And to increase mutual respect, you may host social events, which can just be eating lunch together once a week to let people get to know each other. For communication interventions, you can write a monthly newsletter or update bulletin boards on the unit with the newest and greatest processes and practices. If you aim to improve the frequency and timeliness of communication, you could ask different roles to identify their preferred communication approach. For example, urgent matters that need a response within 8 hours, call or send an instant message. For semi-urgent matters that need a response within 1 to 2 days, an email or alert in the HER is the best approach. Write this up as a protocol that is shared between groups and add it as an expectation to the roles and responsibilities table. And then hold people accountable and revisit this when new people join the team. If you aim to improve accuracy and problem-solving communication, you can redesign meeting agendas to ensure there is time for discussion of issues and invite others to brainstorm solutions. Your team will know which works best for them, so invite them to choose from this list or propose different ones. Once you've identified 1 or 2 interventions that you want to trial, organize your plan using SMART goals or a PDSA cycle. These well-known quality improvement methods will help you stay focused and on track. Plus, they will allow you fail fast and keep moving forward. If SMART goals or PDSA cycles are new to you, the Relational Facilitation Guidebook has many resources. Or you can talk to your colleagues in quality improvement and ask whether your facility has a green or yellow belt training available in Lean Six Sigma or systems redesign and improvement for the VA, and I'm sure they'd be happy to help. Keep in mind, relational facilitation is not a one-and-done activity. It is important to revisit your relational map, roles and responsibilities table, and SMART goals routinely to ensure they are being integrated into practice. Teams we have worked with have added SMART goals as a standing item on meeting agendas and revisit their relational map every 6 months. This way, the relational aspect of teams is front and center and a topic of routine discussion. We hope this short video helped you think about whether relational facilitation might be a good fit for your team. If you have any questions about relational facilitation, please visit the Relational Coordination in the VA webpage or reach out to the Relational Facilitation team. Thank you.